Hello, listeners. My name is Casey, and I am the host of The Cult Vault, a podcast that looks into some of history's most notorious cults. Join me as I look at cults, cult behaviour, and dive deep into the psyche of some of the heinous leaders of these movements. Listen to interviews with survivors and testimonies from those who have been affected by these sects, but live to tell their stories. If you enjoy well-researched, no-nonsense accounts, you will enjoy this podcast. Join me on all major streaming platforms at The Cult Vault. I hope to hear from you soon.
In Chicago, two comedian skeptics named Andy and Art were mysteriously abducted by the illusionary mastermind and conspiracy theorist known only as Mr. Bunker. The following serves as a record of Bunker's attempt to convince non-believers of the truth about conspiracies and paranormal activity. Andy and Art give an uninterrupted presentation and verdict on the plausibility of these offbeat topics, delivering what they call the whole enchilada. Will Mr. Bunker convince these two skeptics any of this is real? Will it convince you?
Everybody, and welcome to Mr. Bunker's Conspiracy Time podcast. As always, I'm your co-host, Arthur Stone, and with me, as always, is your co-host. I think his name is Andy Hart.
Wee-hoo! Howdy, listeners. Welcome aboard the freight train to Mr. Bunker's Conspiracy Town.
Wow, a freight train. So we're late era cowboys.
Yeah. We're,
I guess trains were always a part of cowboy lore, right?
17th century.
Sure. They would rob them.
Yeah.
Bad cowboys.
Yeah, we're the good cowboys. We're the good boys of cowboys.
We're good cowboys.
Yeah.
Moo.
We
a
know
couple
how
of
to
cows.
Move around.
Listeners, we're a couple of cows. And hey, Andy, move over because we got quite...
We're Minotaurs, the original cowboys.
Those were more of bull boys.
Bull boys, well...
Actually, Andy...
Yeah, I'm a steer...
Given a Minotaur's constitution...
I'm a steer boy.
Yeah. We got a miss...
You remember that? Hey, you remember that cartoon?
Okay.
That Cowboys of Moo Mesa? Might be a little before your time.
Yeah, that sounds... We got a mystery. Huh? Andy?
Oh.
We got a mystery today. We got an unsolved mystery topic today, Andy.
That's right, we do.
Who put Bella in the Wych Elm? Who,
Love that song.
Who did it? We're trying to solve the mystery of who put Bella in the Wych Elm, Andy.
Yeah.
It's an unsolved mystery. It's fun. It's got, it's World War II. It's spies. It's dead bodies. It's got trees.
Yeah, it's... You know, if you want it, you got it in this episode.
And even listeners, a little smooch, a little kiss, a little droplet of occult magic.
Yeah.
So, hey,
right.
You know what? Don't waste any more time. Go right to the tree by looking in the show notes. Listeners, hear me out. Look in the show notes. There's a timestamp. Use the timestamp. You can go straight to the research. You don't have to sit here and listen to the first 20 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
We know some of you out there don't want to listen.
You don't have to arbitrarily skip ahead.
Yeah.
You can pick the exact time with the slider on your device or computer. It's right there in the show notes.
It's in the show notes.
Just head straight to it.
I promise you, listeners. Anyway, but if you do want to stick around, we applaud you and we appreciate you.
We like you most of all.
Because
don't tell the other listeners.
Because Andy and I, every week, we get captured by the titular Mr. Bunker, the illusionary mastermind, in a new and peculiar way. And this week is no different.
Yeah, we were both captured. Brought to the bunker.
Brought here, ready to fucking rock and roll.
Yeah. I've got my rocking shirt on.
Andy's got his rocking shirt on. He's ready to rock in his little rocker.
So
rock.
We're gonna rock around the clock tonight. Rock.
Andy.
Oh, you want to hear how I got here?
Yeah, let's hear how you got here.
Okay, all right. Well, speaking of Bill Haley and his comets, retro gaming, huh? How about it?
Retro gaming, huh? How about it?
How about it? Retro gaming has kind of been in vogue lately.
I don't think it ever went out of vogue, but you know what? We don't need to get into semantics.
Didn't used to be retro.
Okay, I guess that's
so
true.
retro gaming in vogue. People like the classic arcade machines.
They love them. They love to speed run them. They love to get the highest scores possible.
That's right. They love the old consoles. Everybody loves retro gaming.
That's right.
Millennials are obsessed with nostalgia.
Okay.
Not me. I don't care. But retro gaming is fun. So Chicago is home to some pretty cool places.
Very cool
arcade games.
Arcades.
And a pinball. I like pinball a lot.
Yeah,
Pinball actually a lot of fun, I think.
Not for me, but
well, okay. Not for everybody.
Yeah.
To each his own.
Sure. Except I will say this. There's a machine at a certain arcade bar.
Okay.
That I will not disclose the location of because, hey, I don't want this place being overrun. This is my secret spot, baby.
Yeah.
There is a old 70s pinball machine at this arcade bar. It's all mechanical. Nothing digital about it. And I love playing that motherfucking machine.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. I've played that machine.
Yeah. I was there with you, I think. We played it.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a great
fun
machine.
one.
It's a very fun one.
And it's a little broken because I think it's just because it's old. You can like keep playing
you
forever.
can just like kind of keep getting free plays.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun because it's all mechanical.
Right.
I mean, it
all
looks,
the boops and
looks
beeps.
neat. Yeah.
There's no LEDs on it. It's all well, there might be LEDs on it, but nothing's digital.
But there's a lot of places like this where you can go. You can retro game.
Sure.
You can play pinball.
Yeah.
You can use all manner of obsolete technology.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
There's flip phones.
You can make a fax.
Moto razors in the bathroom for you to make calls.
You can watch movies on Laserdisc.
Quills and inks. Everything's on 8-track. It's great. So you know me, Art, right? Like if I'm retro gaming, I got to get my fix of Konami arcade games, right?
Yeah, sure.
We're
like
talking
Metal Slug, right?
Right. Yeah. But I mean, specifically, you know what I'm thinking of. The Simpsons arcade game.
Okay.
You know,
they made the Simpsons arcade game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They made a lot of ones like I think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic Four. Gauntlet. Did they make Gauntlet? We played some Gauntlet in our day.
Maybe they did the X-Men?
Oh, X-Men. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going for the Simpsons game.
Sure.
I mean, obviously.
That's a fun one.
So
Mr. Burns steals Maggie, right? And then the whole family has to come together.
Right. Well, it's Smithers, really.
Smithers.
But at the behest of Mr. Burns.
Bart has a skateboard attack. Mm-hmm. I forget what Lisa and Homer have.
Lisa has her jumping rope.
Oh, jumping rope. That's right.
Marge has a vacuum cleaner.
Marge has a vacuum.
And Homer just wails away with his fists.
Oh, okay.
Bare knuckle boxing. But it's a great game. I love it. So I head out to one of these hotspots for retro gaming, and it just opened. You've probably not been to this one yet. It's called 5Bs for a quarter. So I get in there. I hit the change machine. Immediately, I change a $5 bill. I know I'm going to need these quarters for the Simpsons arcade game.
Well, the Simpsons arcade game. Let's be honest. Unless you're incredibly good at it, you're probably like it. It's just they're designed to have you keep
arcade
feeding.
games. You can't just go one time through. Like
you'd
I don't
have
think
to be
it happens.
So fucking good at the game.
So you need the quarters,
right?
So I turn my shirt into a little quarter cradle. I like lift the tail up and put the quarters in there.
Sure.
I waddle over to the Simpsons.
Okay,
game.
well, you didn't need to describe yourself like that, but all right.
Okay, well, as I'm walking, I trip over like one of these exposed power cords. They got to plug these things in. I trip over a power cord and I go flying through the air. Quarters and all, ass over tea kettle. Straight, I'm flying right toward the Simpsons arcade game, okay? I'm airborne. I start to crash through the screen.
Oh my God.
The Simpsons arcade game. Like I'm hitting the cabinet.
Wow.
And something...
You really fucking launched yourself.
Yeah. Well,
What was your velocity? I mean, you must have been going.
Well, I have a lot of
fast.
mass.
Yeah.
I have a lot of mass, so it doesn't take that much to really get me going.
And
yeah,
I imagine it's
a lot of momentum.
Like when a video game glitches and one of the characters just kind of like a Skyrim glitch and he just kind of goes flying across the map.
Right. Yeah. This is what this was like. This was like a glitch.
Okay.
My existence is pretty much a glitch, I think. So I'm flying at the cabinet. Something really weird happens though.
Okay.
I crash in, but I go through the screen.
Yeah.
But like through it into the game.
Wow, like a teleporter?
It's like I went, like some sort of like 90s movie. I fell into the screen of
like
the game.
Weird science.
Did that happen in that movie?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, it was weird. And it was science. So I land in the game. I'm in the game.
You're in the game.
And I'm in the final stage.
Oh my God.
I'm in Mr. Burns' office. Mr. Smithers has clearly already been defeated because Mr. Burns busts through the wall in his mech suit. So it's not Mr. Burns that's in the mech, though.
Uh-oh.
It's Mr. Bunker.
Oh my God. They both have B's in their names.
Now, just like in the game art, okay?
Okay.
Mecha Bunker whacks me repeatedly with his extendo arms and drops nuclear bombs from his tummy that for some reason don't vaporize us both or give us radiation poisoning. They just explode and that's it.
Yeah.
Now I notice in the stats like hovering above our
hub,
heads,
sure,
that my health is starting to fade.
You have a health bar.
Yeah, I mean that's what you've got. So
right.
I noticed that my health is shrinking here. I know that if I get one more whack from the gadget arms, I'm done. I'll lose a life.
Oh my God, you could die in the game.
I think
Die
this
in
is
real
like
life.
an Inception thing.
Yeah.
So I can't put a quarter in the machine. So I just sort of blink for 10 seconds and then everything goes black. I wake up in the cabinet of the game. I push open the back panel and crawl out, only to find myself right here in the bunker.
What?
I look
Wait,
at
what happened? Did you get whacked?
Yeah, I got whacked.
Oh, you lost your health.
Yeah.
And then the continue screen came up.
I blinked for 10 seconds, and then I woke up in the cabinet of the game here in the bunker.
Okay. Now I'm following you.
So I come out of the cabinet of the game.
Yeah.
I look at the screen, and it's just right there on the screen. It's Mr. Bunker's malevolent, smiling face.
Jeez.
Then the whole arcade game gets up and walks away.
Oh my God.
So it was a costume.
It was a costume, but
somehow he transported me.
I don't even understand how he would do something like that.
I think that this costume exceeds the boundaries of like what we know to be technologically possible in our world.
Maybe he put some kind of VR tech on your face.
Maybe I just had a weird like experience with it.
Or maybe you just bonked your head and it was all a dream. Who knows?
That's true. I've suffered a lot of head trauma at his hands. And maybe he whacked me on the dome before I even maybe that's why I tripped.
Well, if you look on the bright side, Andy, at least you kind of got to play the game a little.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I was in it.
Yeah.
In it to win it.
You were part of it. How did it feel to be part of the Simpsons universe?
It was probably...
It's canon now. You're a part of the Simpsons universe.
Well, is it though? This isolated machine? Did this transfer to the programming of the other Simpson arcade games?
I don't know. I didn't even know there were other ones.
Yeah.
I know there's other games. They were for console, but they weren't for arcades.
Yeah,
they put Hit and Run in a Taxi. Crazy. You ever play the Simpsons Crazy Taxi knockoff?
Yeah, I think
I played a lot of that.
I think that was Hit and Run, right?
No, Hit and Run was the Grand Theft Auto
GTA.
knockoff. Yeah. They made a Crazy Taxi knockoff where all you did was just drive around and pick up people and drop them off.
Oh.
And you could get Homer's La Cucaracha car.
Oh yeah, I can't remember it now.
Or Otto. You could play as Otto driving the school bus. There was a lot of cars you could play as.
Yeah.
The family's pink sedan.
That sounds familiar, but I'm obviously conflating it with.
Obviously, you're confused because of your head trauma.
Yeah, obviously
And now that I notice that you are bleeding from a couple different orifices.
Oh, sure, yeah. There's blood in my ears, but what can we do? I can't stop it.
You have to podcast.
It just keeps coming. No matter how much cotton I stuff in there, it just keeps coming. I can't stop it.
Well, Andy, believe it or not, I actually empathize with you.
Wow, I didn't know you could empathize.
Yeah, I
with
know.
anybody.
It's shocking, right?
Yeah.
Because
I'm
much like
stunned.
I much like you.
You love retro gaming?
I love retro gaming, but I also I was attacked and I was hurt
Oh.
in my capture story.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know if you noticed, but my clothes are all torn up. I have scratches all over my face. And,
yeah.
Yeah, and everything hurts and I smell bad.
I mean, I noticed your tattered clothes, but
Andy, I was mauled by a bear.
that doesn't faze me anymore. A bear?
I was mauled by a bear.
Oh.
A Charmin Ultra bear.
From the commercial?
From the commercial.
The Charmin commercial?
I was mauled by a Charmin Ultra bear from the commercial.
The bear whose hiney is clean?
Their heinies are fucking spotless. I can tell you because I've seen them up close.
Did the bear make you eat its ass?
The bear. I was hiking in the woods, Andy, having a fun time, enjoying the cool weather. And I was mauled by a bear.
Oh my God.
I saw this bright red bear
Yeah.
pop out of the forest and just started attacking me, Revenant style, like
Wow.
like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant.
Wow.
It just started mulling me back and forth, biting me all over. You know what, Andy? We have been talking so much on this podcast about if we could survive wolf attacks, if we could survive mountain lions, bears. Well, Andy, I'm living proof that I survived a bear attack.
Did you win, though?
No. The Charmin Ultra Bear ate me alive and shat me out and then wiped its ass clean with some Charmin Ultra double quilt.
Wow.
2-ply toilet paper. And let me tell you, I mean, its ass, spotless.
Sparkling clean?
Sparkling clean. After it ate and shat me out
Wow.
on the forest floor, it did a little dance. It wiped its butt like the toilet paper was a towel.
Yeah.
The other bears, there were other bears there looking on jealously with bits of toilet paper caked in their ass. But not
were these also red bears? Or
No,
were
these
regular-
were other bears.
Oh.
I believe the Charmin bears at one point were blue.
I don't know.
I don't know. But this bear was a Charmin Ultra bear, and it was spotless and clean. Not the
Wow.
first time I've been happened upon by a bear in the forest. When I was in Alaska, I did encounter a black bear, and it walked away.
How did it wipe its butt?
Probably poorly. Probably with tree bark,
Oh.
which you should not be using.
No, that seems rough on
Yeah.
your anus.
Yeah. Not like these Charmin Ultra bears. But anyway, as I was all shat out and dazed, Bunker came by and scooped me up with a big old pooper scooper.
Oh.
It just brought me here.
Wow. So I guess the Charmin Ultra Bear kind of like ate you like a duck. Like just kind of like didn't
Yeah.
chew? Didn't
Holy-
chew?
I mean, it played with me at first, whacking me around, smacking me, tearing me. I mean, they're vicious. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know why a toilet paper company would choose a vicious fucking animal like a bear
Yeah,
as its mascot. I mean,
an exceptional predator.
oh, an exceptional predator and an exceptionally ass wiper.
Yeah. You know, they should have picked something with opposable thumbs.
Not claws.
Yeah, those claws are going to dig into you know, sometimes your little finger goes through the toilet paper because your butt's all wet. Imagine if you had a big claw in there and that claw
Jesus
goes right
Christ.
into your butthole.
Yeah, I can't imagine what life as a bear is like.
I don't want to imagine.
Yeah. But anyway, that's what happened to me, Andy.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I'm glad that you're okay.
Well, I mean, I am a little bit. I'm traumatized for sure.
Sure.
But I mean, that's every week in the bunker, you know?
This is what we've endured for
This is what happens.
several months.
This is our life. This is our legacy.
This is what it is. Yeah. This is how the world will remember us.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
As the guy who got ate and shat out by a bear.
Andy, I was in the forest, and likewise, our story today concerns a forest. Unfortunately, our victim in the story wasn't so lucky as to live being shat out by a bear.
You know,
More so stuffed into a tree,
yeah,
as we'll get into.
Art, I gotta just say one thing though.
Yeah.
I am not a Charmin fan. I prefer
Quilted Northern.
Quilted Northern 3-ply Ultra Plush.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ, Andy. Just use a fucking cloth at that point.
Hmm?
Just get a toilet. Just
It
get a
would-
fucking
would be nice.
Don't you use like adult wet wipes? You ever use those?
No, I don't know.
I would.
Maybe I'll get a bidet.
Does a bidet just work? You don't have to wipe?
No, you gotta wipe minimally, I think.
I'm with you. I don't like the industrial single-ply stuff that you find in every public bathroom. That stuff drives me nuts.
But you're willing to settle. You don't need...
I mean, what are you going to do if you're in the bathroom and that's all they have?
No, but I'm saying, like, you're saying that I'm a hedonist for getting quilted northern 3-ply ultra plush.
I mean, I don't know. I'd split the difference depending on the cost.
Why settle?
Depending on cost, because I don't need that much.
It's not expensive.
It kind of is.
That much more than Charmin? I don't think so.
We go through toilet paper a lot, Andy.
Yeah.
How much toilet paper are you using in your house?
I mean, I use one roll every other day.
They're going to say every time.
Every time. The city hates me.
Your sewer lines are
There's just a huge wad. I don't even need it. I wipe.
Oh, you got to use it, otherwise it expires.
And then I take the end and just drop it into the toilet so that it gets wet, so that when you flush, it just sort of sucks the whole roll in.
Andy, you are an immense waste.
I am, truly. And that actually is my legacy.
Listeners, today's topic, as we mentioned, is an unsolved mystery concerning a victim who was stuffed inside of a hollow Wych Elm tree. And we're going to have some theories as to who she was. Andy, I mean, have you ever heard of this topic before?
I never heard of it before.
Okay.
That's it.
There's a lot of history references, Andy. We're gonna have to rein you in a little.
I know. I'm gonna try to keep myself under control.
Okay.
I'm wearing a chastity belt.
Well, you're doing that for a couple of different reasons.
I have an electrified jock on right now.
Listeners, let's just get to it. I mean, let's quit beating around the Wych Elm bush. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here is Who Put Bella in the Wych Elm. Andy, where were you in October of 1941, huh? You dirty dog. I'll tell you where you were. You were down in Hagley Woods bearing a body, you dirty dog. You dirty dog.
Art! Get that spotlight out of my face! Besides that, I wasn't even born until 1942.
Well, listeners, I've never seen Andy's birth certificate or his tax returns.
Lock me up.
I have seen Andy's piss tapes. They're not good. You're not missing anything there. Trust me. You don't want to see those.
I'm selling those to get rich. Then I'll be taking golden showers every day.
Oh, my God. Speaking of piss tapes, listeners, our story today is a bizarre unsolved mystery from the Midlands of England. Who put Bella in the Wych Elm? Who put Bella in the Wych Elm?
Who put Bella in the Wych Elm?
Who? It was the height of World War II, Andy.
Who put Bella in the Wych Elm? Who?
1943. Height of World War II. 1943 in the small village of Hagley, just outside of Birmingham, Worcestershire, England.
Worcestershire.
Is it Worcestershire?
Worcestershire.
Fuck, I'm going to get grilled.
Boy.
We're going to get a comment.
All right.
Worcestershire, England. I am sorry. I apologize.
Who are you, Jeff Lynne? You got the Birmingham Blues?
On Sunday morning in April, 4 teenage boys, Robert Hart, Thomas Willits,
my cousin,
Bob Farmer, and Fred Payne, were out and about looking to entertain themselves. Perhaps they were looking to escape the troubles of living in a war zone in England. Some accounts have the boys playing soccer, or football, as they would call it. Others had them searching for bird's nest, or chirp chirp nesty doos, as they would call it, in Hagley Woods. Either way, they were trespassing, as the woods were part of the Hagley estate belonging to Lord Cobham, near Witchbury Hill. Regardless of what they were doing, eventually, the boys came up to a large witch hazel tree. Now, imagine, listeners, a large, storybook, sinister specimen spouting branches every which way. These trees are a sight to behold, and they're often referred to as witch elms. Then 15-year-old Bob Farmer decided to climb the witch elm to help the boys get a better look. There, he caught sight of something white hidden in the hollow witch elm trunk. He reached in to grab it, thinking it might be a bird's nest or something else, but what he retrieved was no treasure, but a human skull.
At first, the boys thought the skull was that of an animal. They also found a bottle and a pair of women's shoes. After inspecting their haul a little more closely, the boys found out that this was no animal skull. It was a human's. And it still had bits of rotting flesh and hair clinging to it, as well as 2 protruding crooked front teeth. This was in England, remember? It was at this moment that the boys realized they were somewhere that they definitely should not be. After putting their horrific discovery back in the tree, the boys made a pact to never tell anyone what they discovered in Hagley Wood that day. They were, after all, trespassing. However, later that same night, the youngest of the bunch, 13-year-old Tommy Willits, broke down and confessed. He was so worried and distraught over what they had found, he told his parents everything, and they, dutifully, told the local police.
The police exhumed most of an entire skeleton, along with the skull and a few more personal items from the tree. They found some rotting clothing, a battered shoe, a wedding ring, and the victim's hand, 100 yards away from the body. The remains were sent to Professor James Webster, who conducted the forensic examination. Luckily, the skull was in rather good condition, with nearly complete sets of teeth, tufts of skin and hair, were also attached to it. He also found a section of taffeta, which is a silk-like woven fabric, in the mouth of the skull, leading him to conclude that the victim had died from suffocation as a result of likely foul play. He also concluded that our victim was a petite female, likely 35 years old, and around 5 feet tall. She had given birth at least once in her life, and had been dead for at least 18 months, putting the time of death at around October 1941. From the measurements of the trunk in which the body had been discovered, he also deduced that she must have been placed there, quote-unquote, still warm after the killing, as she could not have fitted in the trunk once the rigor mortis had taken hold.
Just who was this mysterious dead woman? Well, the obvious first clue is to check the missing persons reports. Now, listeners, I'll restrain myself in this next section, but this was wartime England, okay? Unfortunately, one of the cruelest casualties of war is that a lot of people go missing. There were so many missing persons records that it was difficult to narrow down the options. Not only that, but the local police at the time were made up of reserves, as most of the regular police force was called upon to fight in the war. However, we are not saying that these police officers or detectives did shoddy work. It's simply the historical context that we have to understand in this situation. So, even with the police's detailed description, nobody came forward with information on the woman, and a search of 3,000 missing persons cases around the country proved fruitless. A nationwide search of dental practices also drew a blank. Wow, shocking. Not that many English people are going to the dentist.
Jeez.
The woman had dental work done within a year of her death, but there was not a trace of her presence at any surgery.
And so, sadly, as with so many missing persons cases, the interest soon faded. After all, the war was everyone's main focus at the time. The Birmingham area had suffered 3 years of German Luftwaffe bombing, and, well, it was a hard time to live. As Christmas 1943 approached, people had forgotten about the strange case of the woman in the tree. That is, until the graffiti started. Around Christmas of 1944, a graffiti message written in white chalk, in large, all-capital 3-inch letters, appeared on an empty building in the West Midlands town of Old Hill. It read, "Who put Lubella down the Wych Elm?" Soon after, more and more graffiti messages in the same exact style, white, all caps, 3-inch letters, appeared around the Midlands. Each message had some variation of the original. Sometimes it was just Hagley Woods Bella. But after a few weeks, the message became consistent. Who put Bella in the Wych Elm? Either someone was playing a prank on the town of Hagley, or perhaps someone knew more than they were letting on. From then on, the name Bella stuck. Even the police adopted this nom de plume.
Wow. Very cultured.
But having a name, real or not, Andy, didn't help with the investigation. Bella's true identity and killer were never found, and the case remains unsolved to this day.
So just who was this Wych Elm Bella? And what are some of the most popular theories surrounding her unfortunate demise? Ideas have swirled over the years regarding Bella's life. Some say she was simply a prostitute. Others say she was a Nazi spy, a cabaret dancer, an ostracized gypsy, or even an occultist. Indeed, much like the Barbie dolls I collect and make erotic short films with in my free time, Bella had a varied life and career. In theory.
Wow, that was a big reveal.
What?
You revealed your Barbie doll collection.
Oh, have I not brought that up on the show before?
Guess you haven't.
Oh, yeah. I make a lot of erotic short films with my Barbie doll collection. These are all collector's items, and I've ruined the value.
The films. That's the real treasure.
Yeah. If you thought my piss tapes were bad, this will change your mind.
All right.
Check it out on my YouTube. Listeners, let's take a look at some of the most popular theories, starting with a Nazi spy.
All right, Andy. I'm covering this part to rein you in a little bit because we're going to cover your bath salts-laced methamphetamine addiction. Obscure history references.
Get me out of these chains.
No, Andy. We're only mentioning them to add to the story, Andy, not become it. Indeed, hundreds of Nazi spies were captured throughout Britain during the war. And the Midlands would have been a perfect place for spies to gain sweet, juicy intel due to its prevalence of munitions factories.
Oh, please, Art. You think this is some good, obscure shit? Pfft. This is more like a harmless bit of Molly me and my friends do before going to a warehouse loft party in Brooklyn.
Jesus.
Please. If you really want to see me chase the purple dragon, let's discuss the Hungarian Revolution of 1848.
All right, you party animal. Relax. I didn't know you had friends in Brooklyn that you go to warehouse loft parties with.
I have friends.
Regardless. Let's fast forward a bit here, Andy. The case of who put Bella in the Wych Elm kind of, it died down in the 40s until 1953 when journalist Wilfred Byford Jones started writing on the case again. He received a mysterious letter from a Anna of Claverley claiming Bella had died after getting involved with a World War II Nazi spy ring. Now here's a little passage from the letter. Finish your articles re the Wych Elm crime by all means. They are interesting to your readers, but you will never solve the mystery. The one person who could give the answer is now beyond the jurisdiction of the earthly courts. The affair is closed and involves no witches, black magic, or moonlit rites.
Naturally, Byford Jones was intrigued. And as he and this mysterious Anna corresponded further, she eventually revealed the truth in a police confession. Anna was actually a woman named Una Mossop, and her ex-husband, Jack Mossop, had confessed to family members that he and a Dutchman called Van Ralt had put the woman in the tree. Jack worked at a local munitions factory in the early 1940s. He met a mysterious Dutchman there who later revealed himself to be a Nazi spy. Jack had been passing the Dutchman information on local munition sites in exchange for cash. As we mentioned earlier, Nazi spies would pay top dollar for this kind of intel that could help to halt the British war effort. One day, Jack was to meet this mysterious Dutch Nazi spy at a pub close to Hagley Wood. When the mysterious Dutch Nazi showed up, he was arguing with a mysterious Dutch woman.
Who?
As you do. The mysterious Duchess ordered Jack to drive them both to nearby Clent Hills. But on the drive, the mysterious Dutch Nazi spy and the mysterious Dutch woman's argument had escalated, and ended with the mysterious Dutch Nazi spy strangling the mysterious Dutch woman to death.
Wow, it's a lot of mystery.
A lot of mysterious Dutch people in that. Out of fear for his own life, Jack helped the mysterious Dutchman bury the body in the Wych Elm. Apparently, it caused him so much grief, including nightmares of a woman in a tree, that Jack institutionalized himself in 1941. He died later that year.
This account given by Una must have had some truth to it because it convinced the police and MI5 to get involved in the case. They were able to confirm a few of the details of Una's account, but unable to find the remaining perpetrators. When the British Intelligence Agency got involved, some believe there was a cover-up of the investigation. But again, we have to remember the historical context of the time. This was 1953, just 8 years after the war, and details of Nazi spy rings may have, still been classified info. Plus, adding fuel to the conspiracy fire was the fact that Bella's remains had gone missing, precluding any further forensic examinations. How convenient. This case would die down a bit for a while after Una's story. 15 years would go by undisturbed until a book titled Murder by Witchcraft by Donald McCormick was published. Despite its title, McCormick actually used, now Andy correct me, Abwehr files, Abwehr, the records of German military intelligence to build upon this spy theory.
According to McCormick, a Nazi agent by the name of Lehrer was operating in the Midlands in 1941, and he had a Dutch girlfriend living in Birmingham called Clarabella Dronkers, which I think Dronkers is just a great name. Could this Clarabella be our Bella? Whew. Art. Oh, all this spy talk has me parched. Perhaps we should grab some martinis, shaken, not stirred, at the Cabaret Lounge and enjoy a nice show.
Andy, last time you convinced me to do that, you forced everyone to watch you do a burlesque dance.
Art, I live to perform, and I perform to live. I make a lot of money from those shows.
No, Andy, people throw loose change at you to make you go away.
Whatever, Art. God.
The truth hurts.
Ugh. Anyway, recent declassifications by MI5 have shed some light on the spy ring theory. One file details German Abwehr agent, Abwehr, by the way, was the Nazi intelligence agency, Joseph Jacobs. Jacobs, who infamously was the last man to be executed at the Tower of London, was captured after parachuting into Cambridgeshire in 1941. On him was a photograph of a young woman. She was a cabaret singer and German movie star called Clara Bauerle. According to Jacobs, she had also been recruited by the Gestapo as a secret agent, and, had he not been captured, they may have even sent her in as a spy after him.
Jacobs' info checks out. Bauerle was indeed a German cabaret singer and had actually worked in Birmingham for several years before the war. She even developed a pretty convincing local accent. Andy, I'm no James Bond.
That's obvious.
Well, it's not that obvious. But if you ask me, she'd make an ideal candidate for a spy, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, it's not too much of a stretch for English audiences to mishear the name Bauerle as Bella. Could our Bella be this cabaret singer spy? Well, there's a few discrepancies that we have to mention with this theory. First off, Bauerle was listed as 6 feet tall, that's 180 centimeters, which is a staggering foot above Bella, who was only 5 feet tall. And in 2016, well, the theory of Bauerle as Bella was also laid to rest. A blogger obtained death records for Clara Bauerle. She died on December 16th, 1942, in a Berlin hospital from veronal poisoning. Now, veronal was a popular barbiturate sleep aid that was lethal after prolonged use, caused larger doses needed for the drug's effect.
The spy theory has the most legs out of any of the theories, save for some of the less sexy and grandiose ones, such as Bella was simply a local prostitute killed by an angry pimp, or John art.
Oh.
Or she was just some barmaid who got mixed up with the wrong crowd. But what about witchcraft art, huh? Witchcraft. It's easy for me to say. That's sexy as hell.
That is sexy.
Yeah. Sexy witches. Woo. Indeed, the prevailing theory before the Una Mossop disclosure in 1953 was that Bella died as a result of an occult ritual performed by gypsies. The ritual is called the Hand of Glory, which really takes me back to high school.
Oh, no. According to old European beliefs, a candle made from the fat of a criminal who died on the gallows, that is, was hanged by the neck, was lighted and placed, as if in a candlestick, in the Hand of Glory. The actual Hand of Glory, which comes from the same man as the fat of the candle, would render motionless all persons to whom it was presented. Now, I just want to clarify. So, it's a candle made from human fat being held by a hand from the same dead criminal.
Right.
That is what the Hand of Glory is.
Right.
Now, this Hand of Glory also supposedly had the power to unlock any door it came across. So, a lot of the lore about this Hand of Glory is it was very useful for burglars because it would render the inhabitants or the people who lived in the house motionless. They'd be able to steal all the stuff. They could unlock doors. The witchcraft theory was proposed by Margaret Murray, an anthropologist and archaeologist from the University College London, in 1945, and it remained the most popular theory until 1953. Although Murray was a pioneering archaeologist and anthropologist, she had a tendency to see witches everywhere. She wrote several books on the history of witchcraft in Western Europe and proposed in one that there was a secret cabal of witches that infiltrated the highest levels of the English nobility and knocked off a number of kings. Perhaps that's a topic for another episode, Andy.
Maybe.
But alas, our case remains cold. Who put Bella in the Wych Elm? Was she a part of a Nazi spy ring? Did she die from a bizarre occult ritual? Was she simply some unfortunate soul who met a horrific end? Sadly, much like Bella's missing remains, the wych elm tree that served as her coffin for so many months has also died and gone away. But the legend lives on. Even recently, graffiti in the same white, all-caps lettering has surfaced on a 200-year-old obelisk in Hagley Wood. Is it simply someone keeping the legend alive? Or does someone out there know some dark secret? Does someone still know who put Bella in the Wych Elm? Mr. Bunker's Conspiracy Time podcast will be right back after this brief message.
Say, I'm disturbed.
Welcome to Hysteria 51, a weekly oddcast of mysteries, conspiracies, the unusual, and the unexplained.
Do we have a laser thermometer to figure out if Admiral Byrd is here? I'm pointing the laser at the wall now. 71.1, 71.2. Admiral Byrd is here.
With John, Brent, and Conspiracy Bot.
You're all idiots.
Yeah. Join them each week as they clarify conspiracies.
I'm Stuart Swerdlow. I promise I am human and I do human things.
Explore enigmas.
It's all about ley lines, and you'd understand that if I could explain it to you.
And probe the paranormal. Hysteria 51 is a hilarious expedition into the eccentric.
Stop on my joke.
I will when they're good.
Tune in each week and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember, the truth is out there, but you won't find it here.
Stay woke, meet sex.
Welcome back, listeners. Listeners. That was our research of who put Bella in the Wych Elm. Who Who put Bella in the Wych Elm?
Ooh.
Boy, there's so many fun songs you can make out of this
Yeah.
poor person's death.
Yeah, you know, if there's one thing I really enjoy, it's finding the victim of a horrible murder and making a lot of fun songs about popular graffiti tagline associated with their death.
Andy,
Yeah.
you've put your hand in many a glory holes, haven't you?
Oh, baby, have I ever.
You got a couple of hands of glories.
I'm on the edge
Of the hand of
of
glory.
a hand of glory.
Andy, okay.
And
what do
I'm
you...
edging for a moment with you.
Jesus Christ.
I'm on the edge.
The edge.
Oh, no. Not anymore.
Andy, what do you think about this story, huh?
Wow, it is an interesting one.
Do you like it?
I like it a lot, mostly because
Do you?
Hold on. I didn't know anything about the Wych Elm tree, the Witch Hazel tree. That's a wild looking plant.
That's what you're into.
Yeah,
The tree.
The mysterious circumstances surrounding this poor person's death are also very interesting. But I just want to throw that out there that if you've never seen the witch hazel tree, check out a picture of that thing.
It looks like a very storybook
Yeah,
tree.
yeah. This looks like a Brothers Grimm type of deal.
What do you mean?
It looks like a creepy like forest.
Yeah.
This Hagley's Woods.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I don't know. What do you, I mean, I guess let's get some blanket thoughts here going, huh?
Well, I'll say this like up front. We're going to talk about it, but I kind of just don't feel the conspiratorial aspect on this one.
It's not really conspiratorial. It's we're deviating a little bit here. It's an unsolved mystery.
Yeah, but
That's
I mean,
okay.
I mean, I think that there's.
I know we're called Mr. Bunker's Conspiracy Time, but we're allowed to deviate.
Well, here's where I'm going with this, Art.
Yeah,
I'm thinking this particular set of circumstances. To me, I guess up front, it feels like. Don't you think this seems like a serial killer?
A little bit.
More than it seems a lot of these spy stories, it's sort of like the circumstances that lead up to it is the person knew too much, or they got in an argument with the Nazi spy, and
The mysterious Dutch Nazi spy.
yeah, this mysterious Dutch woman that got strangled to death allegedly and stuffed into the tree. I think that's an intriguing story. The Una Mossop confession
Sure.
is an intriguing story, to be sure. But there's some of the things about it that I guess I kind of question, which, like the hand that's missing.
The hand is weird.
It's
the hand
why,
is the weirdest part.
Why cut off the hand and
Why would they do
put it
that?
somewhere else? It doesn't fit to me to say this was like a crime of passion. You know, this was in the heat of a moment, an argument. He strangled her, and there's a moment of realization that you've taken another person's life,
Right.
and then you panic and decide you're going to dispose of the body. At what point in that do you decide that you need to cut the hand off, stuff the silk part that was like the well, I don't know much about clothing, but it's like the lining of the skirt.
Oh, the taffeta?
Taffeta?
Yeah.
Taffeta? What is it?
Yeah, taffeta.
I don't know, you know, the silk.
The silk.
The
The
silk.
cloth.
The cloth.
Yeah, that they
Why stuff
suffocated
it?
her with.
Yeah, why go to that? What, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, I would guess
if there's a strangulation, to me that doesn't fit.
Well, I guess you could have, or also suffocated them by shoving something down their throat like that.
Sure.
Listeners, Andy is just staring at me with dead eyes.
It feels
Sure, you could do that. But you know what works better? Acid. Or quiet pills. aka bullets.
You know what I always use is Anthrax. People can't resist the beat.
People
That is
love
a
that
great
band.
Yeah.
Ian Scott.
Driving guitar.
Oh, what a great thrash metal guitarist.
Yeah. I think that while the spy story is interesting, I just can't escape this feeling that this almost seems like a kidnapping.
Yeah.
And a murder to me.
So you're kind of leaning more towards the less sexy and grandiose ones. She was a prostitute or just a local person, and some motherfucker was taking advantage of the fact that it's wartime England and you can pretty much do anything to anyone. And it's like, well, they're going missing.
I think that we have to probably, as a society of human beings, reckon that there are probably so many unsolved murders of prostitutes in human history, because these are some of the most abused and uncared about people.
Yeah. It's an old profession.
Yeah, the oldest profession.
That's right.
And I don't know. I mean, think about what it's like in the United States today. Prostitutes are really on the margins.
Yeah.
In most places, because prostitution is illegal. So
unless you film it.
Mm-hmm.
Prostitution's illegal until you film it.
And then it's illegal?
Then it's just porn.
Oh.
Think about it. Porn star gets paid to have sex.
Okay. Yeah.
And they film it.
Yeah.
And it's fine.
Okay.
But you don't film it. It's prostitution.
You heard it here first, folks, from
Legal Art.
Art attorney at law.
Think about it. Fucking porn stars are getting paid to get boned.
There's probably a whole host of other regulations you gotta start complying with.
No. It's the camera.
I'd love to see you have sex with a prostitute, film it, and then
we're making a porno.
Defend yourself in court that
she's a porn star.
She's a pornographic actress.
It's illegal unless you go to Nevada.
Self-produced, huh?
Nevada. They have the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah.
Ever heard of the Bunny Ranch?
Yeah, I've heard of the.
You ever watch that on HBO? Huh?
The guy.
Andy, you ever watch a little Real Sex?
Yes, Art. I've watched HBO's sexy programming.
Or was it HBO?
Real Sex was HBO. Bunny Ranch was HBO, I think.
Sure.
That guy that ran the Bunny Ranch, I think his name was Dennis
Hoffman.
He ran for either Nevada State Legislature position, a representative in the Nevada State Legislature, or for a position in Congress. He died during the campaign, and he won still.
What?
The people in Nevada so did not want to elect a Democrat. They elected a dead man.
How does that work?
Because they knew then at least a Republican would still fill that seat.
Oh, is that how it happens? They just it just gets transferred to the party?
I don't know. I think it depends on your local, like what the race was and what the local rules are. There might be some sort of special election to fill his unexpired term, but probably in the interim until they can have a special election, it's probably
they
like
his corpse up,
the state
like
Republican,
Weekend at Bernie's style.
Yeah, his corpse has to fill the remaining term.
2 Bunny Ranch employees, 2 prostitutes in skimpy clothing held up his arms.
They turn him into a marionette, and they have a soundboard based on his appearances on the Bunny Ranch TV show, and he filibustered for 13 hours in the Nevada State Legislature.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Anyway, I don't know, Andy. I mean, I think you're probably right, but
thank you.
I don't know. There's some weird stuff here. What do you think about the cover up though? What do you think about that? MI5 and the police start getting involved again. All of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, some of this stuff's confirmed," and then the remains go missing.
The missing remains is interesting, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of good information about where the remains went or what happened.
Now, you could say, they had 3,000 missing persons cases. They have so many. They're probably just you know what? Who gives a shit? It was just some lady. It didn't matter to anybody. Let's just get rid of the remains. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this could have been a time when
They just got done with the war.
Was excessive, storage of bodies for other purposes, and maybe it was just we don't have room for this one.
Yeah,
this cold case. We've got everything written down. Maybe we don't need the body anymore,
right?
Because unlike other things, they did do some forensics examination of the body.
We did a little bit.
I mean, it's hard to say with any kind of certainty how good a forensics examination that they were doing at the time, or what sort of conclusions could have been drawn from it, shall we say?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think it's interesting. The hand really throws me off because I think you're right.
That gets me, the hand and the silk in the mouth.
I get the stuff in the mouth. That's what killed them.
But put it together.
The hand makes no sense.
To me, that's why it's just like screaming kidnap murder. That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Big time from this.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're probably right.
Okay. Those are our verdicts. Thanks for listening to Mr. Bunker's Conspiracy Time podcast. The spy thing, I think that gets me moving a little bit. I think that the hiding place is pretty good.
It's damn good.
To be honest.
18 months till some fucking pesky-ass kids come along. Would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't your stupid-ass kids and your little dog.
Yeah, and
they didn't have a dog.
The description of it is that they couldn't...
One of the kids could have been dressed up as a dog. We don't know that.
In fact, we do know that one of them was. They were all dressed up like characters from Scooby-Doo. This body was obscured by the tree in such a way that the boys didn't see it. They only felt it.
Yeah.
So it was reaching into the tree. They felt it. So the hiding spot was so good, the way the Wych Elm tree is, that it couldn't even be visible. So in terms of a place to stash a body, I'd say that's pretty good.
Pretty damn good. Hey, good job out there.
Hey.
Murderer.
Hey. Psychotic murderer. Great job.
What about the graffiti?
Yeah, the graffiti is
that's weird.
One thing I want to say about the graffiti. So it appears in what, 1943 is when the first thing appears? Like Christmas time, 1943 or something?
43, 44.
So this, I guess I struggle with it because it seems clearly like the person that I would think wrote it was very young at the time, and almost too young to do it, because let's look at it. It's the same font. It's all caps. It's lacking punctuation. I mean, it seems like a boomer wrote it, but this boomer couldn't have been very old at the time. Not old enough.
Boomer text message.
This is a boomer Facebook comment on the Bella.
It's got a misplaced emoji. It's got an LOL that doesn't make any sense there.
Right. But this boomer couldn't have been more than a couple years old. So it's just really baffling.
Yeah, how this boomer was able to write.
Yeah, that's another part of this mystery.
I don't know. So you think it's just someone playing a prank? Or do you think it's someone who knows something? A lot of times these killers, this lends credence to your serial killer idea.
Yeah, I think this might be like a
they love to leave calling cards.
Like a BTK or a Zodiac type of a situation.
Oh, yeah.
But there didn't seem to be anything that connects this to anything else. So this almost seems like an isolated incident. So I hesitate to say the word serial killer, but maybe this is the killer taunting the populace, designed to inspire some sort of fear. And who knows, maybe there are more bodies that just haven't been found yet.
True.
And I'll say this. I think that over the length of time that the graffiti appeared, probably initially this is coming from one source. Maybe it's the killer. But at other later attempts, probably copycats.
I think so too. I think later
it became
attempts,
local lore.
Yeah, it became local lore.
Mm-hmm.
And people just started doing it for funsies.
It becomes a thing.
It's a fun little thing to do.
But it's interesting that there's a name attached to this Jane Doe.
I know, but like some of these things, they like line up. There are a lot of Bellas in the area, and they're like, oh, this Dutch woman named Bella, and she, the Dutch cabaret singer.
I don't know. Bowerly and Bella, I'm not buying that. That's a stretch for me.
That's a bit of a... Well, that one was kind of proven wrong. That was a really popular theory until they got her death records.
That's more of a stretch than the length of her legs, okay? 6 feet tall. Well, check the research. Look at the pictures.
Yeah, I know she was 6 feet tall.
Cabaret singer. Don't look at me like I'm some sort of sicko.
You're a sick fuck. And she's probably 10 times better of a cabaret performer than you.
She wasn't anything. She couldn't hold a candle to me, even if it was wrapped in a hand of a criminal that was murdered at the gallows.
No, I'm talking a little bit about Clarabella Dronkers.
Right, Dronkers.
That's an interesting one.
Sure, it's very interesting.
There's not a lot there. It's just kind of like there was a Nazi agent at the time in the Midlands. He had a Dutch girlfriend living in Birmingham.
Yeah,
called Clarabella Dronkers.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe it's 2 and 2.
Well, maybe.
Maybe she was actually the lover of a Nazi spy and also got killed by a serial killer.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, there's a possibility that it's not one or the other.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a combination of all of them.
But where do you stand on the occult stuff?
Oh.
Do you think she was captured by somebody and they used that hand?
We don't have any indication that this person was a criminal.
Right. And she wasn't hanged at the gallows.
So
they got that fucking wrong.
Unless they're considering this silken...
Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. Oh, they need to be hanged?
Yeah.
Furthermore, there's a lot more stuff you need to do to a hand in the Old English folklore to make it a hand of glory.
Okay, go on.
You have to marinate it. You gotta fucking put all these spices on it and shit. You gotta roast the motherfucker, baste it.
I mean, unless they count the taffeta stuffed in the face as being a hanging.
Yeah.
Which I think that's not a gallows, though.
Right.
Unless we're assuming that from a tree in Hagley Wood, this unfortunate victim was hanged with the taffeta.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not there on the occult angle, the witchcraft aspect.
I mean, it's interesting. The Hand of Glory does show up quite a lot in a lot of media. It's been in Marvel Comics. It's been in fucking other crimes that are unsolved. It's been in a ton of different literature, including Harry Potter. They talk about, in music, TV, films.
Wow.
Hand of Glories are popular.
I guess so.
What does it say here? So you get the hand. You have to cut it off the criminal.
Okay.
Wrap it.
Hold on. Let me write this down.
In part of a funeral
I want to get this recipe.
Pal. And so wrapped, squeeze it well, then put it into a earthenware vessel.
Okay.
With zamat, nitrate, salt, and long peppers. The whole well powdered. Leave it in this vessel for a fortnight. So boomers aren't going to be doing this. Because these are kids playing Fortnite. Then take out and expose it to full sunlight during the dog days until it becomes quite dry. If the sun is not strong enough, put it in the oven with a fern and vervain.
What?
And then you make
with
a
candle.
Fern?
Oh. Wait, do you make the candle?
Then you have to make the candle. But you just take the fat
from the hand?
From the felon. It could just be regular fat. Virgin wax, sesame, and pony. And use the hand of glory as a candlestick.
Okay. Cool.
So there's a lot of shit
A
involved.
lot of steps.
I think they just gave up because they just left the hand sitting out 100 yards away.
Yeah, somebody gave them that recipe, and they were like, forget this.
Fuck this. Jamie Oliver, you expect me to do this shit? Gordon Ramsay, what the fuck?
What the yeah.
I'm not gonna go get some fucking
Some occult golden
vervain and
Ramsay, yeah.
nitrate. I only got fucking kitchen salt.
It's not even-
Lowry's seasoning salt work?
This salt is table salt. It's not even iodized.
This isn't
My kids are going blind.
This isn't kosher sea salt. Look at the kerneling on this.
Wow. I didn't realize that Hand of Glory was so involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of steps, buddy. So sorry.
Wow. Well, maybe, yeah. I just go back to, it feels like somebody cut the hand off and left it someplace else.
Yeah.
Either as a sign or as, there's probably some logic behind it. But, I mean, you know, if you're going to say it's an occult ritual, sort of like they didn't follow through with it.
Yeah, there was
Right?
no other stuff.
Yeah.
You would think a ritual would have some more shit involved.
Yeah.
Some blood patterns.
Where's the pentagram painted in
Yeah.
blood?
Well, Andy, I got nothing else. I mean, this is kind of a cut and dry topic. Unless you have other points you want to bring up, I'm ready to get to verdicts.
Wow, you're ready to hit the verdicts hard, baby.
I mean, it's a short story. It's a short little fun unsolved mystery. I think the fun of the mystery kind of carries this. There's not a ton to there's not a lot of moving parts here.
Worth mentioning too, though, I think that one of the defenses of MI5 is that a lot of these documents may have been classified, and since the time that this happened and MI5 got involved, a lot of this stuff has become declassified just through passage of time and unsealing the records and stuff. And
yeah, I mean,
nothing has illuminated this
right
this thing any further. So it doesn't feel like there's a big trove of stuff that the security agency's sitting on.
Sure. Yeah, 1953, it was like they probably didn't want to disclose how many fucking Nazi spies were living amongst the British population.
Yeah, there was probably
infiltrating
a lot
them.
of risk at the time, but now there's no risk. And so a lot of this stuff has been declassified and released, but none of the documents shed any light on it. So to me, that adds a little credence to that it's not so much a conspiracy as it is probably just a regular unsolved crime.
Yeah.
Certainly not run of the mill, but
Yeah. I mean, if you got nothing else, Andy, I'm ready to get to verdicts.
all right, give me your verdict.
I don't know.
Give me your
What do
verdict.
you got? Anything else?
No, that's all I want to say. Give me your verdict.
Yeah.
Hit me with that verdict.
I think I'm just gonna go plausible.
Yeah.
That she was a spy.
Okay.
Or related to the spy, connected to the spy in some way. Because, I think that Clarabella Drunkers is a pretty damn good guess. We don't have a lot of info to go off of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's Bowerly. I think Bowerly was disproven. I definitely don't think it's a cult. But, part of me wants to say that because it's fun. It's romantic, Andy. It's a neat spy mystery. Aw, it's romantic. Aw, Andy. Aw.
A tale as old as time.
No, the spy theory just, I don't know, it's more fun. Maybe a prostitute, maybe not. The hand being cut off, I can't explain that. I don't understand why her hand got cut off. Unless these were machete-wielding Nazi spies.
Yeah.
Which, as far as I know, may or may not exist. I don't know.
But you like
Maybe this particular
you like to dream.
Maybe this particular mysterious Dutch Nazi spy also liked to juggle, and he was really confident in his juggling abilities, and so he could juggle machetes. And no, not Danny Trejo, because he hadn't been born yet. He wasn't juggling 3 cloned Danny Trejos.
I'm imagining this Nazi spy who goes, you know what? I can almost do 3 rubber balls at a time. Yeah, give me the chainsaws now. I'm ready.
And then he accidentally cuts off his mysterious Dutch Nazi girlfriend's hand.
Right.
And he's like, well, gonna have to take care of this.
Yeah. Good luck.
No, I think plausible for the spy theory. Plausible plus for your theory, Andy. This is your theory that it was maybe just a murder via serial killer.
Wow, my theory's gaining some steam in the
weird serial killer guy.
Bella in the Wych Elm community.
Yeah. Because there's we just had a skeleton.
Right.
We didn't have anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that this is like some knife wielding maniac killing people out in the woods, and you could be like, well, here the victim has stab wounds all over the place, cut and dry. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
But no, we just have the skeleton. So those are my verdicts. Sorry.
I forgive you
Fucking
instantly.
Sorry for being who I am.
Well, you've owed me and the listeners an apology about that for a long time. All right, so my verdict. Let's just start with the occult and the witchcraft angle. Case closed. That's not. I'm not buying it.
Not buying it.
I'm not buying it. I'm selling that. The Nazi spy angle. I'm giving that a plausible minus.
Okay.
Because, as
Not
I've already
bad.
said,
Not
I
bad.
just feel strongly about something else. I think that it's plausible.
It's plausible.
Like you said, I think the Clarabella Drunkers situation is probably the most plausible of the
That is
Nazi
a
spy things.
document. There was a Nazi spy in Birmingham,
Right.
or the Midlands, whatever. But he had a girlfriend in Birmingham named Clarabella.
Right. But it comes back to the same thing for me. We don't
even know if Bella's her name, okay?
Right. That's just coming from the graffiti.
Some motherfucker just said that.
So it could be anything.
Yeah.
It could just be a Bella. Bella means beautiful lady
Oh.
in
Aw.
Italian.
Aw.
This could just be some sort
Romantic.
of affectionate moniker from a deranged individual
Sure.
who murdered this poor person. So I'm going to be a plausible minus on the Nazi spy theory. I'm giving, similar to you, plausible plus on my own theory that this was
Go figure.
This was a kidnapping murder situation. We don't know anything about this poor victim that was so roughly dealt with at the end of her life. But it's the graffiti, it's the hand. That just doesn't feel very spy-like to me. If you're trying to fly under the radar, that's a bad way to do it, in my opinion. So,
And you're a James Bond freak.
I'm weird about it. Yeah. I turn James Bond on while I'm having intercourse.
Listeners, Andy's in jest, but he does actually very much enjoy James Bond films.
Yeah.
And he has seen all of them. How many times?
All of them 8 times each.
You have the box set. I've been in your house. I've seen it.
I might have gotten rid of it because it was DVDs.
Yeah.
Might have sold it.
Yeah.
When we moved.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did have it. And I used to have the James Bond Seen It game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's not a very well-explored aspect of your personality. Your love of James Bond films. We never talk about that.
Wow.
It never comes up. In the fucking decade that I've known you, I don't think we've ever talked about it.
Wow.
And you don't bring up James Bond a lot.
No.
But you love it. You can't get enough.
It's probably my most favorite media is James Bond films.
I mean, you're joking, but like you like James Bonds a lot.
Yeah, I do. I didn't
You hate Daniel Craig.
No, I don't.
And you hate who was the guy who was only James Bond once?
No, George Lazenby is who you're
George
thinking of.
Lazenby. You hate him.
I don't hate him.
Oh, you can't stand him. That beautiful male model was able to be James Bond.
It makes me so mad. When are they going to have an obese, ugly James Bond?
Who's your favorite Bond? Top 2 Bonds.
Okay, well,
Timothy Dalton.
number one.
Number one.
I think number one for people in our age bracket is always going to be Pierce Brosnan, right? It's like it's a mixture. You go between Pierce Brosnan and Sean Connery. Sean Connery is like the original, but Pierce Brosnan is that's the nostalgia pick. I also really like Roger Moore.
Roger Moore's a good one.
I don't know. I think that I think they're all good in their own way. You know?
I like Craig a lot.
I don't have any problem with Daniel Craig. I have a problem
Casino
with the
Royale
movies.
film was so good.
Ugh.
Casino Royale is so good.
Ugh.
What don't you like about Casino Royale?
Ugh.
You don't like that it's like real. There's no Q. There's no goofy gadgets.
Yeah, where's the goofy gadgets? Where's the misogyny? Where's all the camp? Now, here's the thing that I didn't like about the
Mads
Daniel
Mikkelsen.
Craig Bond direction they went with the films. They made it super anachronistic, and it bugged the crap out of me.
Okay, what's that mean?
Because it was supposed to be prequels to the James Bond that existed in the 1960s.
Oh.
Yet it's technology that's very clearly 40 plus years after the James Bond initial thing.
So you're
Chronologically
mad
speaking, it just doesn't add up.
that it's sort of saying like James Bond started in the current year. That's what those movies are saying? Is that James Bond became who he is in like 2014 or whenever those movies came out?
I think it was the late 90s, right? Early 2000s?
Casino Royale?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it had to be
that movie came out when I was like in high school.
Yeah, so it had to be in the 2000.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Before 2010.
Yeah, late 2000s,
Yes.
late aughts.
So you're mad that that story is like the prequel for James. It's like his story. It's why he is who he is, because Vespa, his lover, right? Vesper or whatever her name is.
Vesper.
He
And Vespa,
loved-
his scooter.
He loved that scooter.
But it was never meant to be.
Those dorky Italian scooters. Oh, he loved them.
That Vespa, much like Vesperlind, couldn't survive the water.
But people weren't ready. People weren't ready for a man in scooter love.
They
with
weren't
Triangle.
ready for James Bond to take off his pants and make love to a scooter. They also weren't ready for the sequel where he made love to Scooter the Muppet.
Yeah, he fucked that Muppet dirty.
Oh, Scooter.
But it was so sexy.
Scooter loved it. His little dreadlocks were bouncing.
He fucked it, and then he comes back, and it's covered in gold. Or oil, whatever happens in the second.
Baby oil.
Craig.
Yeah, baby oil.
The oil refined from babies. Pure baby oil.
No, just so.
I'm an oil man. I make baby oil.
Wow, it's Daniel Plainview.
Hello. You're a worm, Eli.
What it?
I drink your baby oil. I drink it up.
So
Sniveling little worm.
So you liked Casino Royale. I didn't.
I didn't like the campy goofiness because I didn't grow up watching that kind of stuff. I didn't like Q. I don't like the gadgets. I didn't like Pierce Brosnan.
What? Why?
I liked Daniel Craig because it felt real. Like he was punching people with his fists and shooting people with guns.
Yeah.
And driving Aston Martins. And then I like how he's naked in a chair and they hit him in the balls. That shit was cool as hell.
Yeah.
When that evil,
as a young sexually awakening teen,
that evil jet ski played by Mads Mikkelsen is hitting Daniel Craig in the balls over and over again in a special chair that they designed just to hit people in the balls.
Yeah. They cut the hole in the bottom
so they can hit him in the balls.
so they could just have that rope that had the big knot at the end.
Yeah.
That gym class rope.
Boy, Casino Royale was a weird movie. Evil jet skis making love to a scooter. I just liked it. I thought the acting was good. The storyline was good. The movie was
I've
clear.
never said that I don't
The
like
pace
Daniel
was
Craig
good.
or the actors in it. I think that, yeah, the realism. I would love a realistic James Bond, but it's the story part of it that it bugged me.
So you would be happier if that movie was set in the 60s.
If they just said like this is like we're just rebooting the whole thing, and we're just starting.
Isn't that what they did?
But they didn't, right?
No, they did.
They tried to keep this continuity with it.
They did?
Yeah.
How?
That's what I'm saying. How?
Who wasn't M in the Pierce Brosnan films like a dude?
Yeah.
And then M in Craig films is Judi Dench.
Judi Dench was in the Pierce Brosnan films.
Oh. So maybe that's where your disconnect is coming in. I felt like Casino Royale, the Casino Royale story is clearly a reboot. It's the first Bond book, and it's not the first Bond film, right? Because the first one was From Russia with Love.
No, Dr. No.
Dr. No was first.
Yeah.
But the Casino Royale is the first Bond book written by Ian Fleming, correct?
I think that's accurate, yeah.
Because it sets up the story. It sets up why he's a playboy and he doesn't fall in love with anybody because his one true love died on his one of his first big missions.
Right.
Or his first big whatever he uncovers.
Right.
And that's why he is the way he is, why he's sad.
Right.
He's a little sad boy.
Right.
He's an orphan boy.
Right.
Plus, you had Daniel Craig looking beefed out, hunked out in those tiny little booty shorts. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he looks great in the movie.
Tell me you didn't want to be Daniel Craig. Every guy wanted to be Daniel Craig after that movie came out.
I want to be almost anybody but myself.
You'll be the scooter.
Literally, yeah.
I'll be the fucking rope that hits him in the balls.
I know you will be. That was your favorite part of the movie.
Dude, I can't watch that scene. That scene hurts. That is a painful scene.
That scene, as I was watching that in the theater, I was like, oh.
You're like,
this ratcheted up.
Oh, I have a boner in my popcorn bucket. And you reached over and you're like, hey, Amanda, reach into this popcorn bucket.
And she was like, hey, it's popcorn, but the popcorn's all sticky. I said, yeah, it's kettle corn.
There's this little tiny hot dog in the bottom of it.
It's a Vienna sausage.
Why is there Vienna sausage in the bottom of this popcorn bucket?
Full disclosure, listeners, I bring sausages from my home into the movie theater and I dump them into the popcorn. Liquid and all. I like the popcorn to get soggy with sausage water.
Oh, God damn it, Andy. We're trying to talk about Dan Craig getting hit in the balls and you're making it gross.
I like when it's that wet, like newspaper paste kind of popcorn surrounding the still difficult to chew kernels shards, and it tastes a little bit like Vienna sausage.
I don't like popcorn very much.
I love popcorn.
Plus, I just thought all the roles were super well casted. If anything, I think Mad Milkinson's, what's his character, Milich?
I don't remember.
That bad guy has a name.
I don't remember now.
But I think his could have been fleshed out a little more. But the poker scene with them, and it sets up the whole shaken, not stirred bullshit, why he says that.
I don't know. I felt like some of it dragged a little bit in the casino part. I felt like it took a long time to get there. You know, I felt like it was one of those movies.
Eva Green was great. Oh, she's great. Great actress.
Yeah, absolutely. But I have this thing with movies that if I become aware of how long it is, it's too long.
Yeah.
And I became aware of how long that was.
That's fair.
I thought Quantum of Solace sucked.
The rest suck. I'll give you that.
Skyfall was better than Quantum of Solace.
Skyfall was cool. That shootout at the end of Skyfall.
The end of the movie was great.
That is dope.
That was a fun.
They're in this old Scottish, house mansion thing that he grew up in.
If I have to be honest with you, though, I couldn't follow it.
The story was confusing. Because the whole story is that he's uncovering this worldwide, essentially Illuminati.
Yeah.
And that's where what's the most recent one they did?
Oh, I haven't
seen Javier Bardem.
I haven't seen it.
He essentially plays Jaws.
Oh.
What's that guy? That bad guy? Jaws?
There's a Jaws in the films, yeah. What, does he have metal teeth?
Yeah.
Okay, this is probably Jaws.
And there's this worldwide conspiracy called let me look it up because
is it Spectre?
Spectre. It's Spectre.
So that's the same thing from the other movies,
right?
Spectre,
right? And he uncovers. It's basically all the films are leading up to him uncovering that.
Ernst Blofeld.
What a name. Yeah. Although that film really fucking sucks.
Mm.
It sucks because it sucks that film was so bad.
Yeah.
And then I think they just did another one. After he said he was retiring from Bond, they made Daniel Craig do another Bond.
They're going to do one more, and then is it Idris Elba that's going to be, or that was just a rumor?
I think that's just rumor. They rumor everybody's going to be Bond.
I think he'd be a good Bond.
He'd be a great Bond.
I know some people got pretty racist about it, but I think it would be good.
Hey, there's a lot of, like, you just get like a handsome dude who's a good action star. He's going to be a good Bond.
Look, at this point, what do we care, right? Like they've jumbled the whole thing.
How many more Bond stories can they write?
What sort of sanctity, quote unquote, do you think you're protecting? Make any good actor or actress or whatever a Bond. Why not? Whoever could do a good Bond.
Jane Bond.
Yeah, why not? I don't care.
Government Bond. U.S. Savings Bond. Gold Bond. Foot cream.
The Shaq Bond movie. Gold Bond. Foot powder. No, he does the Gold Bond lotion.
Yeah.
He's always squirting that lotion onto his hand.
So much. Way too much.
Just way too much. And then you have to ride it out with the commercial.
You don't need that much lotion, dude.
He rubs it until it dries.
Listen, I moisturize just as much as anybody. But you don't need that much fucking lotion, dude.
No.
I mean, he's a big guy.
He's got a lot of skin.
He's got a lot more skin than me.
A lot of ground to cover.
Yeah. I only use you only need like a size of a dime, maybe even less.
I'll drop a dime on my moisturizer.
All right, listeners, that was our verdict of who put Bella in the Witch Elm.
Who put Bella in the Witch Elm?
Who put Bella in the Witch Elm? Who? Kind of feels like a musical. Like Sweeney Toad. City on fire. Mischief. And he doesn't get those references because he didn't do theater in high school.
I did not. I don't know anything about musical theater.
He didn't have to see 5 different high school productions of Sweeney Todd. Only a few of them pretty good.
What did I see in my high school? Well, I was in my high school
Into
production
the Woods?
No, I didn't see. I've never seen that one. That was a popular one at my high school, though.
I was on the crew for it, and yeah, I got to do the smoke.
I played Horace Vandergelder in my high school's production of Hello, Dolly.
Congratulations.
Thank you. They did The Music Man one year, and I think I worked in the theater for that one. I was an usher or something. So I saw that every night, I think, that it ran.
Oh.
Sound of Music, I think they did one year.
Popular.
And I don't remember.
Okay. The rush. Well, anyway, that was our discussion of musicals.
Musicals from high school.
Listeners, that was our verdict of Who Put Bella in the Witch Elm. Let us know what you think. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? Email us, MrBunkerPod@gmail.com. Tweet at us at Mr. BunkerPod. Use the hashtag
Who put Bella in the Witch Elm?
Who put Bunker? Who put Andy and Art in the bunker?
There it is.
Huh? How about that?
Who put Andy and Art in the bunker? And make sure that's all caps. Don't use a question mark. Art's writing it down right now so that he'll remember to tell you all later with the show notes.
And feel free to slide into our DMs on Instagram at Mr. Bunker Pod. Let us know what you think. And hey, let us know if you want us to cover any topics.
Yeah, you got anything you want us to do? I mean, we'll run it by the big man, Mr. B.
Big man, Mr. B. Andy, it's time for a regular segment now at this point.
Oh.
We're going to do a little make-em-ups.
Oh.
This is...
Listeners, would you like to make believe with us?
That's right. Would you like to make believe with us, listeners? Because I got a question for old Andy, and I'm going to see what he comes up with. Andy.
Right.
In our story today, we talk about the Hand of Glory, which is a occult ritual, again, that allows, supposedly, if you do it the right way, it allows you to render anyone who comes across it motionless. Mm-hmm. They're unable to move, and possibly it also unlocks any door. So my question to you, Andy, you have to make your own occult ritual, like the Hand of Glory.
Okay. What
is your ritual, Andy? What powers does it give you, and what body part do you use?
Okay. Well, Art, I actually spent a lot of time thinking about this.
I'm sure you have, you sick freak.
And I had a hard time settling on what to say for this.
Okay.
But I think here's the direction I'm going to go.
Okay.
The body part I would use is...
We'll see if it's better than a James Bond film direction, but low bar.
Yeah.
According to Andy.
Yeah.
Not according to me.
I would use the both large and small intestines in their entirety.
Okay. Interesting.
The ritual would be that you would take the intestines from a glutton.
Okay.
And you would bake them in the sun.
All right.
Until they become
like chicharrones.
Not quite.
Oh, okay.
You stop before then. You want them to have some flexibility.
Okay.
Because what you're going to do is you're going to use them as a rope, and you're going to turn it into a lasso.
Okay.
And any creature that you lasso with this intestine will be instantly turned into a delicious meal, and you will get to enjoy the fruits of no labor. So if you've ever wanted to have a whole roasted hippopotamus, hard to do on your own, just lasso that thing.
What? So does this instantly kill it?
Yeah.
And if you eat the flesh of this creature that has been lassoed with your intestine rope, what are we calling this?
This is a tough one.
The innards of cooking flavor, innards of cuisine.
Maybe we could
Quizit.
maybe
Quin. I don't know. Quintestines.
The flavor tract.
Oh, that's decent.
Let's use that as a working
title.
name. Yeah, we'll come back to you, listeners, on final decision on that.
The knot of tastes good.
The KFC Yum Lasso.
It's branded. Oh boy. One time I went to KFC with my family and I got giblets by accident.
Giblets.
What are giblets? I don't know.
I think Giblets was one of the Nazi SS officers.
What?
Herman Giblets.
Giblets. Yeah, they were gross.
Oh.
Not like them.
Sorry.
Did not know that they were giblets.
So that's what I would do.
Okay. That's weird.
Thank you.
But I could see it being very useful.
Yeah.
I could see this, in times of famine,
Mm-hmm.
people doing this ritual to make disgusting creatures.
Yeah.
Gamey, gross little creatures, make them very flavorful and tasty.
Yeah. I mean, if you thought that you didn't want to eat a dog, let's change your mind.
Oh, no. Oh, no, Andy. Don't we eat dogs?
Why?
Oh, here we go again.
Why?
Why not?
What's the difference between them and anything else?
I don't know, Andy, because they're lovable and they're our pets and they're our friends.
Why are people have pigs as pets? They find pigs lovable.
Some people do.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know.
I mean, if you're saying it's a personal decision.
Logically, you're correct, Andy.
Thank you.
But socially and culturally, you are a fucking weirdo.
But I'm on the right side of this argument.
It doesn't matter if you're weird.
I don't care.
It doesn't matter if people want to ban you off of all social media platforms.
Ban me. Bring the ban hammer down.
You are logically correct.
Put
logically won.
Put me in a tray of warm water and pop me in the oven. Ban Marie.
Anyway, before we veer off track here too much, Andy, we got to close up shop.
We've got to close up shop.
We got to get up out of this bunker elm. Bunker tree.
The bunker elm. The bunk elm.
The bunk elm. The bookends of the bunk elm. Listeners, thank you for coming with us on this journey today. Andy,
nice to see you, listeners.
do you have any last words?
Hey, thanks for being with us, everybody. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Well, I think that about does it for the titular Mr. Bunker and for my squee
Nice
co-host Andy Hart.
squee.
I'm Arthur Stone saying that was the whole enchilada.
Squee.